So New Zealand versus Samoa in the Cape Town Sevens is just around the corner, and a sentence that I didn't think I'd be saying. Both of these sides have been beaten by Canada so far in the Cape Town Sevens, and that means that more than likely Samoa cannot make their way through to the quarterfinals. They will still have a few more games, of course, remaining in their Cape Town Sevens campaign, but for New Zealand, they are fighting with Australia for the opportunity to make their way through to the next stage. In this preview, though, we'll be looking through at these two sides, their previous fixtures, a prediction at the end of who we think will advance, and everything else to do with Cape Town. But jumping straight into it, Samoa, they have played 2 games thus far in Cape Town. Their first one up against the Australians. They were defeated 27 points to 7. I'll be honest, they just didn't really look like they showed up. Similar to what we saw between Samoa and Ireland in Dubai. They just didn't really fire the way that a lot of people expected, only scoring, like I mentioned, that 1 try, and from the get-go, having a 20 points differential heading into match number 2. And in that game, it was up against the Canadians. Now, last time that these two sides played in Dubai, Samoa got themselves a comfortable victory. This contest, 33 points to 7 in favour of Canada. It wasn't even close. Samoa, in both of their first 2 contests, have only been able to score 1 try a match. Then for New Zealand, they didn't start their campaign the way that they would have liked either. Defeated by Canada, 19 points to 7. They too only scored the 1 try in that matchup. The last time that the two sides played, it was in Dubai. Canada actually really pushed New Zealand in their matchup, so it was no surprise that that game was going to be close. Just no one expected the Canadians to pull off quite the upset. And then their last game for New Zealand, it was up against the Australians. They did win it 35 points to 5, although all 35 of those points being scored in the first half of that contest. So it will be interesting to see how these two sides match up, seeing as normally when they play each other, they're in very good form. You'd say New Zealand are starting to find it, but can Samoa cause some sort of upset? The key players to watch out for the Samoans, I don't think we've really seen enough of some of the stars. Vavasa Afaso, I think we have seen quite a bit of throughout those first 2 games in terms of putting in some big hits. But other than him, the likes of Samuelu Naula, who I was hoping would have a big competition, has really not been able to stand out. Alafepo only getting a few opportunities coming off the bench. Nauli Vara, I think, could be massive in this game up against New Zealand. For the Kiwis, Leroy Carter coming off a hat-trick in that game up against Australia, so he will be a very handy player for them. Alongside him in that starting lineup, we're probably going to see Scott Curry, who just with that huge amount of experience under his belt adds so much to this New Zealand side. But now we are up to that stage, ladies and gentlemen, where we try and predict who will be walking away with the victory. Now, I do have to say, this game has more of a chance of being one-sided than it normally would when Samoa versus New Zealand play. I think the last 10 times the two sides have played, only one of them have been split by more than 7 points. When these two sides played in Dubai last week, we saw New Zealand get that last-minute try to win it 14 points to 12. Samoa, with that, still made their way through to the quarterfinals to then be beaten by Argentina. But I feel like Samoa, if there's ever a time to get it right, it's now. But I just feel like they've given themselves a bit too much of a mountain to climb in this scenario. So I'm going to say New Zealand win this game. And I don't want to say this, but I think they're going to win it by a very large margin. I'm thinking like a 38 points to 7 type arrangement. It would be a shame because I feel like Samoa are better than what they have shown so far, but it just seems like currently something's not working for them. Perhaps they make a lot of changes in the starting lineup, and that might be the recipe to get them back on the right track, but we'll see whether or not they are able to do so. But this game, it is kicking off at 4:50 AM New Zealand time. We will be doing the live commentary on the channel, so if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let me know your score prediction in the comments down below and who you think will be winning the Cape Town Sevens competition. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.